All right, welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time we're headed trackside, virtually, of course, for the Williams FW47 launch.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some great coverage from F1 blogs to break down, so
Awesome.
let's jump right in.
Sounds good.
Okay, so new car launches, it's like Christmas morning for F1 fans.
I agree. It's always so excited.
Especially when you got a driver like Sainz joining the team.
Yeah, big expectations for Sainz.
So much anticipation, so many questions smelling around.
For sure.
Like, what are we really seeing here in this early reveal?
Right, exactly, yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think these launches are so much more than just a flashy presentation.
Yeah.
You know, they give us that sneak peek into the team's thought process.
Mm,
Are they going for those incremental gains, or are we going to see a radical overhaul this year?
right.
And with Williams, let's just say their recent history makes this launch extra intriguing.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on for them to show they're serious
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
about moving up the grid.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's rewind to that chilly Silverstone rollout. 3 degrees Celsius.
Freaks in.
Sainz takes the FW47 out, first on intermediates,
Oh, wow.
and switching to slips for a longer run.
Okay.
And it wasn't just Eddie Track Day.
No.
Jensen Button was there, plus key figures like Gaetano,
Oh, wow, yeah.
Sainz's race engineer.
That's awesome.
So you could definitely tell that this was a big deal for Williams.
Yeah.
So at first glance, you might think, doesn't this FW47 look a lot like last year's FW46?
I could see that, yeah.
And, visually, yes, there are some similarities.
Yeah.
But remember, it's evolution, not revolution.
Right.
The key is in the detail.
Exactly.
So those subtly reshaped side pods,
Okay.
those are likely aimed at optimizing airflow.
Yeah, could be.
And the overall design,
Mm-hmm.
it's more sculpted, more angular,
I see that, yeah.
which seems like a sign that they're refining their aerodynamic approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's that rounded nose.
Okay, yeah.
It's a noticeable departure from the flatter design of the FW46.
Right.
Some are saying it's a hint of Ferrari's 2024 design philosophy creeping in.
Interesting.
Do you think that could be a good thing for Williams?
Well, Ferrari's aerodynamic concepts have been strong recently.
Yeah.
So if Williams can adapt some of those principles to their own car, it could definitely give them an edge, yeah.
Right.
Especially with limited resources.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
shows they're not just blindly following trends,
Right.
but actually thinking it through and incorporating the ideas that fit their overall strategy.
It's not just about copying. It's about understanding the why behind the design.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
And speaking of design choices, they've stuck with the pushrod suspension system.
Interesting, yeah.
Now, that's a bit of a rarity in modern F1, isn't it?
It is. Most teams have moved to pull rod systems.
Right. So why do you think Williams is sticking with pushrod?
Well, it could be about maximizing their existing knowledge base and resources. They've been working with this system for a while.
They know it.
They understand its nuances.
Mm-hmm.
Switching to pull rod would require significant investment
Yeah,
and a
definitely.
learning curve.
A lot to take on.
Or it's possible that they see a specific advantage
Okay.
in the push rod setup for their car,
Interesting.
perhaps related to weight distribution or aerodynamics.
So it's a calculated decision, not just stubbornness.
Right, exactly.
I like that it shows they're thinking strategically, not just following the crowd.
Yeah, and every decision has implications,
Right.
especially for Williams.
Okay, I have to admit, I'm a bit obsessed with Sainz's new helmet design.
Oh, yeah?
It's giving me some serious nostalgia vibes,
Interesting.
like harking back to his 2019 McLaren debut.
Oh, okay.
It's like he's bringing a piece of his past with him
Yeah,
as he starts this new chapter.
I like that.
It's cool.
Yeah, helmet designs aren't just about aesthetics.
Right.
You know, they can be quite symbolic.
Oh, yeah.
By incorporating elements from his debut, Sainz might be signaling that he sees this as a fresh start,
Interesting.
a chance to recapture that early career momentum.
Ooh, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
It adds another layer to the story.
Right.
And speaking of stories, there's a bigger narrative unfolding here.
Yeah.
It's Williams' journey back to competitiveness.
Absolutely.
They've got new sponsors like Atlassian coming on board.
Awesome.
Doralton continues to invest.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've snagged a driver like Sainz.
Yeah, they have.
It feels like they're finally getting some stability.
Stability is so crucial
It is.
in F1, yeah.
It is.
Without it, you're constantly playing catch-up.
Always behind.
But now, with this stability, Williams can afford to look beyond just this season.
Mm-hmm.
They can start laying the groundwork for the future.
Yeah.
And specifically for 2026, when the new engine regulations kick in.
Right, 2026.
Remember, they'll be powered by Mercedes engines, though.
Ah, yes, 2026, the year everyone's whispering about.
Right.
And from what James Vowles, the team principal, has been saying,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like 2025 is all about building towards that major regulation change.
Yeah.
He's even called it a transitional year.
Interesting.
Could this be their chance to pull a 2014?
What do you mean?
Like when they went from midfield to podium contenders after the last big regulation shakeup?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You think it's possible?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
But what makes this even more fascinating is that they're not just focusing on the technical side.
Right.
Bringing Sainz into the fold isn't just about his driving talent.
Mhm.
It's about his experience, his technical feedback,
Okay.
his ability to lead and motivate a team.
They're building a structure for long-term success.
Exactly.
So we've got a brand new car, a driver with a point to prove,
Yeah.
a team with a renewed sense of purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and a whole lot of anticipation for 2026.
For sure.
What's jumping out at you so far?
Mm-hmm.
What are you most curious to see as we head into preseason testing?
Well, I'm really interested to see how Sainz's experience will shape the team's development path.
Okay.
Can they translate his feedback into tangible performance gains?
Yeah, that's the key.
Can they build a car that truly plays to his strengths and allows him to put with the limits?
That's a good question.
And how will they juggle this year's development with the looming changes of 2026?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Those are some key questions we need to be asking.
Absolutely.
It's like a balancing act, right?
Yeah.
Trying to stay competitive in the present
Mm-hmm.
while preparing for a future that's still quite uncertain.
It is. It is a tough balance for sure.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the psychological impact of a new car launch.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fresh start.
It is.
For the entire team,
Yeah.
drivers, mechanics, engineer, everyone gets a boost of motivation.
Exciting.
You can feel the energy shift, the focus sharpen.
Mhm.
It's a chance to shake off those past disappointments
Yeah.
and set new goals.
Like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
Okay, while we're talking about details,
Yeah.
I'm curious about the cooling solutions on the FW47.
Okay.
We didn't get a great look at them during that Silverstone run,
Right.
probably because it was so cold.
Yeah, probably.
But cooling is such a crucial aspect of performance in F1.
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
It's a constant battle.
It is.
To find that sweet spot between efficient cooling and aerodynamic performance.
Yeah.
If the engine and other components overheat,
Mm-hmm.
you're sacrificing reliability and power.
Yeah, you can't have that.
But if your cooling system is too bulky or complex, you add weight and disrupt airflow.
Right.
It's a delicate balancing act for the engineers.
It is. It's a lot to balance.
It is.
So it's not just about having a powerful engine. It's about keeping that engine running at its optimal temperature.
Exactly.
That makes me wonder if we'll see a more aggressive cooling setup
Yeah,
once the weather warms up.
could be.
Maybe those side pods are hiding some clever innovations we haven't spotted yet.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We will.
That's definitely something to keep an eye on during preseason testing.
Yeah, good point.
This Silverstone shakedown was just a first taste.
A little teaser.
The real test comes when they push the car to its limits in warmer conditions.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we'll see how their cooling strategy holds up
Yeah.
and how the car truly performs overall.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about the car, the driver, the sponsors, the long-term strategy.
Right?
But where does the FW47 actually stand against the competition?
Right.
I mean, we've seen a few other cars launch already.
We have.
Is Williams in a position to fight for points this year?
Okay.
Or are they still playing catch-up?
It's still early days.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the full field yet.
Right.
But based on what we've observed, I'd say Williams is well positioned to be a strong contender in the
Wow.
midfield.
And
They've
we-
clearly learned from last year's car.
Uh-huh.
And those subtle but targeted improvements we discussed
Yeah.
suggest a clear understanding of their strengths and weaknesses.
So they're not aiming for a podium just yet.
Not quite yet.
But a solid midfield performance would be a big step in the right direction.
It would.
Especially if they can use this year to gather data and refine their strategy for 2026.
Exactly. It's all part of that long-term vision.
We're seeing the plan unfold.
And we can't underestimate the impact of James Vowell's leadership.
Yeah, he seems to have made a big difference.
He's brought a level of discipline and focus that Williams has been lacking in recent years.
Right.
He's got a clear plan,
Okay.
and he's not afraid to make bold decisions to achieve his goals.
He's like the architect,
Yeah,
drawing up the blueprints for Williams' future.
I like that.
And from what we've seen so far,
Yeah,
that future is starting to look a lot brighter.
it is.
But it's not just about the leadership, is it?
No.
There's a whole team of talented individuals
Mm-hmm.
working tirelessly behind the scenes
Right.
to make this happen.
Absolutely.
It's easy to forget that there are real people behind these incredible machines,
Yeah, for sure.
pouring their hearts and souls into every detail.
It's what makes F1 so compelling.
It is.
The drama, the rivalries, the triumphs, the heartbreaks, it's all part of the story.
And with Sainz joining Williams, we're adding another layer of intrigue to that story.
Absolutely.
It's like a new chapter unfolding, full of potential and uncertainty.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
The car, the driver, the team dynamics, the long-term strategy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the key takeaway for you?
That's a good question.
What's the one thing you want our listener to walk away with?
I think it's this. Williams is on a journey.
Okay.
They're rebuilding, refocusing, and rediscovering their competitive spirit.
They are.
It won't be easy.
Right.
There will be setbacks.
There always are.
They're moving in the right direction. And that's what makes this so exciting to watch.
I couldn't agree more. There's a renewed sense of optimism around Williams.
Yeah.
They're not just hoping to be competitive, they're expecting to be competitive.
Yeah.
And that shift in mindset can make all the difference.
It really can.
But this is just the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're only at the first stage of this multi-year plan.
Exactly. The real test is how they adapt and evolve over time.
Right.
Can they build on this early momentum?
That's a good question.
Can they sustain their progress in a sport that's constantly evolving?
That's the challenge.
Those are the questions that will define their future.
And that's the beauty to Formula One.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending pursuit of perfection.
I agree.
A constant battle against the clock, the elements, and each other.
And we, the fans, get to witness it all unfold.
We do.
So before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay, hit me.
If Williams can make this leap forward,
Yeah.
who else might surprise us in the coming years?
Ooh.
Could we be on the verge of a major shakeup in the FY pecking order?
Now that's a question to ponder.
It is.
And that's where you come in, dear listener.
Right.
We want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
What are your predictions for Williams in 2025?
Let us know.
Can Sainz lead them back to the front?
Drop your comments below.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch for sure.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, so much to think about.
Definitely.
It really does feel like we're entering a new era in Formula One.
A new era.
Yeah, I mean, the 2026 regulations are looming.
Oh, right. Yeah.
New teams are emerging.
Uh-huh.
And that established order
Yeah.
is being
For
challenged.
sure.
It's like a game of chess
Okay.
where the board is being shaken up
Yeah.
and anyone could come out on top.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
And in this game of chess, Williams seems to be playing a very strategic game.
Okay, I like that.
They're sacrificing short-term games for long-term potential,
Interesting.
building a solid foundation, nurturing talent,
Mm-hmm.
and patiently waiting for their opportunity to strike.
Biding their time.
Exact.
And with Sainz at the helm, they have a driver who's hungry for success.
Yeah.
Who's capable of pushing the team forward.
Yeah, he could be the key.
Yeah, it's a combination that could really pay off.
Yeah.
Especially when those 2026 regulations come into play.
Speaking of those regulations,
Yeah.
they're designed to level the playing field,
Okay.
to create more opportunities for teams like
Williams.
to close the gap with the front runners.
Yeah.
It's a gamble, for sure.
Big gap.
But it's a gamble that could reshape the entire sport.
And that's what makes Formula One so captivating, isn't it?
It is.
The constant evolution,
Mm-hmm.
the unpredictability,
Yeah.
the sheer audacity of these teams,
Right.
pushing the boundaries of technology and human performance.
Absolutely.
It's a spectacle unlike any other.
It's amazing.
It really is.
And it's a spectacle that's only getting more exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
With new regulations, new drivers, new teams entering the fray.
Yeah.
The future of Formula One is brimming with possibilities.
Well, we've certainly unpacked a lot today, haven't we?
We have.
We've analyzed the FW47 from every angle.
We did.
We've explored Williams' long-term strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And we've pondered the potential impact of the 2026 regulations.
We did.
But now,
Yeah.
we want to hear from you,
Our listener.
our listener.
That's right.
Yeah.
What are your impressions of the Williams FW47?
Do you think they're on the right track?
Can science lead them back to their former glory?
Head over to the comment section
Yes.
and let us know your thoughts.
We'd love to hear from you.
And while you're at it,
Yeah.
don't forget to subscribe to F1 Blogs
Yes.
for all the latest news, analysis, and deep dives into the world of Formula One.
We'll be back soon.
We'll be back soon with another episode.
But until then,
Keep those engines revving.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, gotta love that excitement, right?
Absolutely.
What keeps us coming back for more?
For sure.
Okay, so we've got the FW47, right? We've got Sainz behind the wheel.
A strong combination.
Williams seems to be, like, finding their footing again.
Yeah, they seem to be.
You know, with this fresh approach.
It's good to see.
What do you make of it all?
Well, it's definitely a step in the right direction. But, I mean, let's be real. F1 is a tough, tough business.
It is.
It's not going to be easy for them to just, like, waltz back to the front of the grid.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason those top teams are where they are.
Yeah.
They've got the resources, the experience, the winning culture.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot for Williams to, like, really challenge that.
It's a long road ahead.
It is.
But hey, they've got a plan.
Yeah, that's important.
They've got momentum, and they've got Sainz, who's, no slash behind the wheel.
He's a proven talent.
He is.
Yeah.
So you never know, right?
That's the beauty of it. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic.
I like that.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, we'll see how you all plays out.
We will.
All right, so that wraps up our deep dive into the Williams FW47 launch.
That was a good one.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Lots to unpack, lots to think about.
For sure.
Big thanks to F1 Blogs for the amazing coverage.
Yeah, they always do a great job.
And, of course, to you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to subscribe to F1 Blogs for all the latest F1 news and analysis.
And let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, we want to hear your predictions for Williams in 2025.
Hit that subscribe button.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive.
Until then, keep those engines revving.
See you next time.